So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Montolio here, aka Montolio, and I am just about to saddle up for my CQ Qualifier number 3 round 4 matchup, and I am playing Ilsken, who is on Good Game Oath, and my avenue to victory for this match is, basically this is going to be a very difficult match for me with the particular type of Stax build I'm playing, so what I fear here, obviously, the most is a resolved oath with a Forbidden Orchard token. Forbidden Orchard on the table. That spells a lot of trouble for me, particularly pre-sideboard, because there's not much I can do about it. Obviously, yeah, we want to stay away from the Vault Key combo. That's going to be Oath of Druids or Vault Key is going to be the best way to beat me. And yeah, I mean, as far as my deck is concerned, the avenues to victory here is to be able to lock him out with spheres and disrupt his land base. He is actually playing no basics at all, so I've got 4 wastelands, a ghost quarter, and a strip mine with 2 crucibles mains. So hopefully that will be the case. I'll be able to lock him down. And yeah, die roll is very important here. If I win the die roll, I think I've got a significantly better chance than if I don't, as he does have the ability to put out a turn 1 oath. And post board, both of us actually got much better games. He has 2 energy flux, 2 Hurkyl's recall, as well as 2 nature's claims and an ancient tomb to help him power through my spheres. Whereas me, basically what my approach is going to be is I'm going to be boarding out my Metalworker combo with the 2 staffs, and I'm going to be bringing in an additional duplicant, a Triskelion, a Ratchet Bomb, 2 Caracas, and can't think off the top of my head what my other cards I'm going to be bringing in, but essentially I'm taking out a big piece of my deck in the Metalworker combo. I just find turn 1 Metalworker is not going to be as good here because it activates his Oath, so I'm basically doing a 2-card combo versus his 2-card combo, which is Oath of Druids and Forbidden Orchard. So my logic is not activating his Oath is a good thing by playing the Metalworker, and 2, he's got to find both his combo pieces, where I no longer need to worry about any combo pieces at all. Essentially, I'm going to looking to play a standstill type build here, where I'm just going to lock him out and hopefully get there with Mishra's Workshops. And I certainly can be a defensive type player against this deck with that type of a build post board, because I have 2 duplicants, I've got Metamorphs, and you know, if he decides to show and tell, I can get a duplicate into play. Of course, Metamorph doesn't work that way, but at least if he doesn't hit a Dragon's Breath off a resolved Oath, I can still Metamorph that way. So we'll see. The 2 Caracases are not great against him, but it will save me from a resolved Emrakul with a Dragon's Breath on it, and it will bounce a Grizzleband back to his hand. However, he'll still be drawing 7 cards unless I've whittled him down. So let's see how it goes here. Yeah, it's going to be a difficult match, but that's what happens when you get to round 4 and you're in a 3-0 position. So first time I faced Oath in the tournament, and we'll see how it goes. So here we are. Unfortunately, my opponent has won the die roll. I think what we've got to be most leery of here, as I alluded to in the intro, is a turn 1 Oath. So he's hasn't done anything yet. Wishing us good luck, and yeah, unfortunately this is a really bad hand. It's got some of the makings of a great hand in the sense that it's got a duplicant in it, as well as a Trinisphere, but I just don't think we can keep it. It's just too high risk, so that's mulligan as well here. And this is pretty bad as well, but we do have the grind him out thing. He's mulliganed as well, so we are going to hold here, and hopefully we can resolve some spheres and beat down with our Mishra's Factories at some point. We will hold there. And our opponent is mulligan to 4, which is pretty good. definitely take that. Yeah, he's saying he should have kept 7, and hindsight is always a real bugger, that's for sure. Let's see what we can do. Mishra's Workshop would be good. Even if I got a Workshop, I would still lead out with a Sphere of Resistance here. That would be most unfortunate if he mulliganed to 4 and picked up his combo on that 4. Not much we can do about that. Okay, strip mine's a good one here. Even though I don't have any speed, I am going to actually strip mine his orchard here. So he looks like he's going to brainstorm. He's giving us a token, which is good. And hopefully he misses on land here. Or in the event that he does have land in his hand, that we can keep him off his old combo. Because that's where having the spirit token in play is not good. So we could be looking at a tutor here. Okay, Thoughtseize is not a problem for us. It'll be interesting to see what he does here, whether he fears the sphere or the Metalworker. So he is fearful of the spheres here. Okay, unfortunately we're looking pretty slow here, but we've both had pretty much as bad as starts as our 2 decks can have. But hopefully my opponent is unable to do anything here. He's got no land. Okay. He does not have his combo. What is the best plan here? I mean, I can start just attacking his land base, but it might be best to just get spheres out and then start attacking his... Or do I just attack? I'm definitely putting him on a much quicker clock that way. I think I am just going to play Okay, I'm not sure what the right play is here. I mean, he's just drawing, so I mean, he can kind of get over our spheres no matter what he's trying to do, but I am going to, against my better judgment here, I am going to get a sphere out. Hopefully it lands. Okay. So it'll be interesting to see if he wastelands here, trying to put me further under my own sphere. Which could actually be a pretty reasonable play. So I am now going to take his orchard. Actually, let's just attack for one here. We need to get into some multi-mana producing lands is what we need to do. Because all of a sudden our Metalworkers become a lot better then. I think rather than waste, maybe I do just wasteland him here. Because what I can do is I can actually get my factory into play and I can tap him down, his orchard down, and he still can't cast an oath that way. So next turn I can attack with the factory and wasteland. So I think that's what the plan is here. Actually, I think we probably want to take his Underground Sea and hope for the... he does have a main deck Nature's Claim. That doesn't seem to accomplish much right at the moment. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll leave him with the colorless mana here. Or with the... So he's tapped. Not sure what that means. Not much. Well, there is our combo. Very interesting. I am a mana away if I don't crack my wasteland here from being able to do something pretty good. I still think I'm going to put some pressure on here and just hope that I draw into a multi-mana producing land here, and I am going to wasteland his Underground Sea and tap down his orchard. I think that is probably the best line of play here. And against my better judgment, I am going to actually pound in with my factory here and leave him with 2 mana. I guess if he has a Brainstorm, that's pretty good if he draws it, but we do need to start beating in here. And we've got a prime advantage to do it. And our opponent has missed again on land, which is great. Hopefully we draw one. That is not a good one to draw. So we're going in. So we've got him on a 3-turn clock here. He's missed again, which is good for us. There we go. Alright, so I do think we just go for a... Actually, Lodestone is really good here too. Problem is that takes all our mana. This takes 4 mana anyways. Maybe we just play another Sphere here. No, I'm going to go for a Lodestone. Lodestone is just a much better Sphere, and he's dead next turn if he cannot answer it, so... Okay, so there's game 1. I think we got a little bit lucky with him mulliganing to 4. Having said that, we did mulligan to 5 ourselves, so we'll take that. Good start. I feel pretty lucky having gotten game 1 off of him there. Oath is just such a tough deck to take away the first game, particularly when you're playing the type of Stax build I am, where I've got so many more creatures in my deck. So my sideboard strategy here is one that I am not used to doing against Oath, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to altogether remove my Metalworker combo. The reason being is the Metalworker turn 1 is one of the best plays with this deck. However, what it does is it allows my opponent to play an Oath naturally, turn 2, which just puts me in a lot of trouble. What I'm going to do is play a more defensive type strategy here, where I'm just really taking out the majority of my creatures, okay, and I am going to try and lock him out, and I'm going to try and mess with his land base, and that's what we're going to do. As far as what we're bringing in, I am definitely going to bring in a Triskelion. Now, some people might find this questionable as to why I would bring this in, but what it does is it gives me the ability to fight off orchard tokens in the event I absolutely need to do it. Where I would, deal a couple damage to his face or to an orchard token, then I deal 1 damage to the Triskelion, getting rid of it. It buys me a turn, as well as it actually punches 3 damage to the face in the event I'm close. Of course, I'm bringing in Duplicant. I'm running 2 of them now. Post board, which is excellent for us, and as well, of course, I'm going to be bringing in 4 Graft Digger's Cages, and I'm going to bring in a Ratchet Bomb. Now, it's questionable whether I should be actually playing Caracas, but I am actually going to bring them in. I'm not crazy about City of Traders here, even though it does ramp me, so this allows me to get rid of a Dragon's Breath Emrakul, as well as get rid of a Grizzlebrand, even though he draws a lot of cards. So this is my strategy. The only thing that I don't like about this strategy is I don't like having 4 Graft Digger's Cages, and I don't like having 4 Cruised Chalices, even though they're all extremely powerful on their own. But the bad thing is if I draw a Chalice first, set it at 1, which I would, the Graft Diggers becomes null and void. So let's hope that's not the case, and we So here we are, game 2, and our opponent is on the play. I think the best thing for us is getting Chalice set at 1 and 2 here. Still leaves a problem with Show and Tell and Energy Flux, but we just have to hope that we don't get it, that he doesn't get them, and that we're able to lock him down quite well. So this is a pretty good hand for us. It certainly isn't phenomenal, but Tangle Wire is good for us here, and so is Sphere Resistance, and when we get to the point where we can actually cast a Steel Hellkite in the event he doesn't have an Oath down, it's pretty good. So we're going to hold this. So our opponent is probably going to... Oh, I was expecting to see a Thoughtseize here. I'm seeing a turn 1 Tinker. Okay, so the Oath of Druids is down. And although that is not good for us seeing the turn 1, he does have a Mana Crypt on the table. So let's see what happens here. Well, I mean, this is a difficult situation because I would really like to take his forest away. But it just doesn't seem very good. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lead with an Ancient Tomb here, and I'm going to put down a Thorn of Amethyst. Or do I just take his ability to brainstorm away? I think I am going to Chalice this. I'm not sure what the best line of play is here, but I'm going to actually put a Ghost Quarter down and try and get rid of this thing, and hopefully he doesn't have any other lands, and we'll see what happens. Obviously we do not want to be seeing a Forbidden Orchard from him here, but let's do it. And he has no basics in his deck, so makes it a much better play for us. And hopefully he just doesn't have the Orchard and he doesn't have any land, and we can kind of ride him out on his own Mana Crypt. At this point we can kind of bury him under his own... Oh, he does have an Ancient Tomb, which is decent for getting over my stuff. See, that's not a very good card at the moment, but anyways, we are going to get a Thorn out here. What we don't want to see is Energy Flux here, any colored mana. And we want to win some rolls. And we haven't done so. Alright, so he's got some colored mana here. Okay, Metamorph is pretty good in the event he is able to get Oath of Druids going. I think it is time, though, to get a Sphere of Resistance down. And I don't really want to use pain-producing lands if I don't have to. So he's thinking about whether he wants to counter this or not. He might have a Spell Pierce in hand, or Force of Will, which I would be just fine with if he played a Force of Will on that. And he has chosen not to counter that, so won 3 flips in a row. If those had only gone the other way, it'd be pretty good because he'd be at 10 life right now and under a lot of pressure. You know, Mana Crypt is one of those cards. It's just so good when it's good, but it's extremely bad when it's bad. So looks like he's going to try and cast something here. What we don't really want to see is a Show and Tell, a Tinker, or a Jace. And I strongly suspect it will be one of those. Okay, it's an Energy Flux. So that really hurts us. You know, I am not going to pay for any of them. I don't see a reason to do it at this stage in the game. He's just got the mana to cast whatever it is he wants. Unfortunately, he is able to get rid of his Mana Crypt here. And, you know, we just have to... We do have outs to this. Maybe it was right to play Tangle Wire there. But we really don't want to start taking damage from our Ancient Tombs to keep something like this on the board when he has the cards that he does here. So, also Grafdigger's Cage would be really good for us here. Need a good top deck here. That is not the one we want. So we are in a position to cast something like a Hellkite here. The problem with the Hellkite is it just puts us in a world of hurt by activating his Oath. You know, if he hits a Grizzlebrand or a Blightsteel, God forbid there being a... Yeah, it's just not good. It just really isn't good. So I can certainly play a tangle wire. Start paying for that to buy some time. But it's going to cost me 2 life every turn. I just don't really like it. But the thing is, can I just actually sit back and do nothing? You see, let's just ride it out. I mean, I can be very proactive here, and I can actually attack. I can play a Hellkite. He's going to get an activation off his Oath. The bad news about that is if he hits something like a Dragon's Breath, I'm just dead. If he doesn't hit the Dragon's Breath and he's sided it out type thing, which he very well may have, then that means that the next turn I can actually try and play a Metamorph, stealing his creature, or copying his creature, and attack him with a Hellkite and kill his Oath. And I can get rid of my, and if the event that doesn't work, I mean, he's got 3 cards in hand. It's very likely he's got something like a Force of Will. I am just going to play defensively here right now. I mean, we're not in a good spot. And will we get a die roll for once? There we go. Saying that, be interesting to see if he lets us go now. Yeah, he does. I mean, we can only sit back for so long here against him. You know, if he gets something like a Jace down, I mean, we're just cooked. So I do think we're going to have to do something here. Hopefully we get a Graph Diggers here. Nope. Do we just sit back and wait? I think I am going to get a Tangle Wire out here. Okay. Oh, he's going to hard cast a Force of Will. Really nice. Not too often I get a Force of Will hard cast against me playing Oath. Okay. And I think that's perfectly reasonable for him to do that. Do I want to cast something here? I think I'm going to ride it out. We're definitely going to have to get lucky here. Oh, Trinisphere. Definitely like that. Let's see if we can land that one. That would be really sweet. And my opponent may not fear this at all. I don't know. I am going to nuke his Ancient Tomb though. and hopefully I can get some ahead on land here. Now, of course, I've got to pay for my trinisphere, which is not good. Oh, that's a nice one. I definitely like that one. Okay. Maybe I got a little over exuberant about drawing that. It definitely helps. It's still costing me 2 life a turn at this stage, but it becomes a lot better if I can draw something, some regular lands. And the nice thing about the trinisphere here is it, what's he doing here? Okay, so he is going to have an orchard here, so we are having our hand forced. Okay, so I think it's important to keep the trinisphere in play here. I let the sphere go. Oh, Triskelion's a really nice one. Can I actually get it into play? Is that actually good is the question. Or do I just want to go for a steel Hellkite here? I mean, he's going to get an Oath activation regardless. What I can do here is if he doesn't, this is tough because what ends up happening is I can play the Triskelion. This is in the event I can actually force something through, and he's going to play a token. I nuke the token like I talked about earlier, and then I'm going to hit him for 2 to the face, and no, 1 to the face, and then I'm going to kill my own Triskelion. It buys me a turn. That's it. Which doesn't seem very good to me. Maybe we do just want to go proactive with the Hellkite here. He's going to get an activation. We attack in and we try and cast ourselves a Metamorph. I mean, that seems reasonable. We need to avoid a Triskelion here. Or we need to avoid a... I think Grizzlebrand is so bad for us. Just draw a ton of stuff in here over our sphere, right? Yeah, maybe we don't do that. Maybe we just go 1 more turn and try and get a Graph Diggers. Maybe we do just play the Triskelion here. Let's see. Can we get it through? Yep. So it makes me wonder if he actually has counter magic in his hand. Well, he couldn't cast anyways over top of the Trinisphere, so that is not necessarily a signal he doesn't have it. Uh-oh. We made one mistake there. He doesn't have to do that. Oops. Well, what we can do here is we can see what he gets into play, metamorph it, and go from there. Okay. He did do it, so... So, certainly not ideal, but it did buy us the turn we're looking for. Hopefully. And this turn we'll try and get a Hellkite into play. I mean, maybe that wasn't good paying for that, I'm not sure. Oh! Caracas is a really nice one to see here, I have to admit. So I do think we actually try and get the Hellkite in. We are kind of crap out of luck here, so... And if he hits an Emrakul, we're in really, really good shape, actually. Or a Grizzlebrand, for that matter. I mean, he can draw a lot of his stuff. So we are going to see an Oath activation here. And we'll just have to see what happens. Okay, so we hit a Blightsteel, which is basically about as good as it's going to get for us. We do have to actually be able to... Well, an Emrakul would have been the best there. But we're going to be able to punch in for... Let's see what he does here. We do not want to see a Jace. Now, we can hit for 5, 6, 7, 8. For 8. So it's not quite enough. So is this a Dragon's Breath? So we're seeing a possibly a Vault Key combo here. He does have 3 mana left. I don't think we want to pay for the Trinisphere here. Which might be bad. I guess if he has a Hurkyl's Recall, there's not much I can do about it. Okay, I think what we do is we try and just get rid of the Oath here. This has to ultimately be our goal. Okay, so we got rid of the oath, which is far from perfect here. Question is, do we try and metamorph here? 3, 4, 5, 6 mana we have. I'm short. So if I play this, the lodestone, if I play the lodestone here for 4, that leaves me with 3 mana to cast the metamorph, so that does work. So what we don't want to see here is we do not want to see Hurkyl's Recall. So if we see Hurkyl's Recall, we are in a world of hurt. Nice. Alright. I'm not sure what this bodes for us here. I mean, he can still have the recall here, but I suspect he probably would have cast it if he had it. He does have 4 cards in his hand, and he could also have the Vault Key combo here. So he's thinking about this here, how he wants to do it. I mean, he's got to play for the Blightsteel for sure, so that's 2. He's got to pay for the key if he wants to vault me out. That's another 2, so that would be 4. That would leave him with 2 mana. He could actually cast the Time Vault, and if he has another land, he could Vault Key me out here. So that does work, but he needs to have another land to do it. It'd be interesting to see if he pays for the key here. So, I mean, essentially what he has to do here is he's got to get a hit through with that Blightsteel right now, or he's got to Vault Key me. Otherwise, I think, and when I say get a hit through the Blightsteel, he's got to be able to remove our creatures here. And that's Hurkyl's Recall that does that. So hopefully we do not see that. He did not save his Voltaic Key. So he is definitely digging for a Hurkyl's Recall right now, and that or he has it, and he's looking for a land to cast it. And hopefully he misses here. So our opponent's thinking long and hard about this, and that is justifiably understandable, as this is definitely an important play. So he does have a land. He's got a Lotus Petal. So he's got a Okay, maybe he's got, I didn't think he had multiple voltaic keys. He doesn't. Wow, okay. I think I am just going to block with a... Is there something I'm missing here? So it looks like we've got a good game here. All right, there you go. We're 4-0.